Call this meeting to order. City of Groves, notice of the regular meeting of City Council. City Council Chamber, Groves City Hall, March 15th, 2021 at 5 p.m. Will everybody stand for prayer and pledge? Dear Heavenly Father, we ask that you guide us in our meeting tonight and protect our city as we move into a new time, and keep us protected from the ongoing pandemic and anything else that comes our way. Please protect all of our first responders, fire, police, and also our city workers as well. In your name we pray.
Amen.
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 Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Ms. City Secretary.
Mayor Bourne,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Baden,
Here.
Councilmember Dugas,
Here.
Councilmember McAdams,
Here.
Councilmember Oliver.
Here. Thank you so much. I'd like to welcome everybody to tonight's meeting. Our first item on the agenda, item number 4, will be approve the minutes of the March 1st, 2021 City Council meeting.
I move that we approve the minutes, get over here, minutes of the March 1st, 2021 City Council meeting.
I second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the March 1st, 2021 City Council meeting. Do we have any questions? Being no questions, we'll vote. Mayor votes aye. Mayor Pro Tem Baden.
Aye.
Councilmember McAdams.
Aye.
Councilmember Dugas.
Aye.
Councilmember Oliver.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item 5 will be reports and citizen comments. Item 5A will be the report of the 2021 City Street Program from Mr. Foxworth.
Hello,
Hey, Troy.
how are y'all today?
Doing good.
I gave you guys a copy of the streets list. Should be right there in front of you. And I thought it'd be better to go ahead and put a map up of what we're having up here so everybody can see it. So the red right here, that's going to be the GLO streets that we already have budgeted. That was from the Harvey money that we got. Just wanted to show you guys that all these right here, these ones in red, that is the $3 million. Is that what it is, Mr. Sosa?
3.1, but of course, when you take out the fee for the engineer and take out the fee for the grant consultant, that's pretty hefty. So I think actual dollars is probably about 2.6, something like that.
Okay, so I just wanted you guys to understand, that's what GLO money we have right there, $3 million. That's 5 streets, let's see, 6 streets that we're gonna get done for that. The rest of these streets over here that you see, that's what we're gonna be doing for around $850,000. That's what the city's gonna be doing.
How many feet of GLO is that? Yeah, I don't have do you have that wrote down?
It says
somewhere?
7313.
It should be on the
Very top of the second page.
yeah,
Oh, over on that page, I'm sorry.
7,300 feet. But the rest of them all together, what we got? 3,900 feet. About 8 miles
Okay,
altogether.
I'm sorry.
So anyway, we got them labeled. So the total reconstructions are going to be these green ones down here, and the list on the front kind of breaks it down to what we're spending on each street. It's a very close number. Some of them we're going to have to add rock to. Some of them we're not going to have to add rock. We're going to reconstruct, which is recycle the material on top and mix it in with the base that's there, and then lay them back out and put rock on top, the chip seal. And then the ones in green, the ones in purple, that's going to be the ones we're going to be seal coating, which is a chip seal on top of what we already have. That's to give us a few more years life on those streets. And then the Courseman Road we got right here, this is going to be contracted asphalt street. Level up in asphalt, it's going to be 2 inches of asphalt on top. So now I want to give you guys what we're doing, a good picture of what we're doing and trying to cover the whole area. And then, of course, GLO versus what we're actually doing ourselves. The numbers that we have are here, our total, what we have left to do is $659,812 is what we're estimating that we're going to be spending on the streets. We already have purchased a rock. The only cost that we really have left is the oil, the primer, and then the tack oil. So that's, and we're locked in on the price, is a good thing, because we got that before the oil prices jumped up. So these numbers right here for the reconstruct, our cost is going to be a little bit over $1 a square foot. That's the numbers that I got. And see, the contractors would charge about $8 a square foot. So that just gives you an example of how much we're saving by doing it ourselves. For the seal coats and level ups on the next section down, that's contractor's cost is about $3 a foot. Our cost is 43 cents a foot. So, well, I wanted to show you guys the reconstruction, the streets that we are doing. I got some pictures. You look at these streets, some of them, I don't know if everybody's been down some of them. I'm just going to start over here on Clinton. These are my own pictures, so forgive me. They were with my phone. Not very good. So Clinton 32nd, you guys don't know where that is. That was on the map just a second ago. It's right over there by HEB, a little small street. This is what we're dealing with on this street right here. We've got a lot of potholes right there. This right here, there's no surface left in some of these areas. That's base underneath it. That's showing through the top. And you can see all the way down to 33rd Street right there. All these are potholes that we've had to fill in. And you'll see these typically on the streets that we're going to reconstruct. So the base has been damaged whenever it's open like this, all the way down.
Yeah, Allison is like that.
Okay. See 33rd, this is just looking back the other way on it, so you can see this is the corner right down here at 33rd and Clinton. So, and then I was going to show you guys High, which is one street back off 32nd Street. On 32nd. So we got lines all the way down there. Same thing. You got some potholes right here. And this is why we're doing these streets right here, because they are so bad. And see, this was the cul-de-sac right here. So
These are total reconstruction.
these are total reconstruction, yes, sir.
Top of it.
Next one, let's see, Allison. Allison is going to be on that dead end over there by Woodlawn. Yeah, that's the little section. See the curves right here? This is the curb job that we just had done. So we're fixing the road in between the curves. And they did a fantastic job. If you guys haven't been down there and
Yeah,
looked
the
at them.
curb. Troy, my question about this is, how old are the curbs on Allison that we did, what, 3 years? The other curves that we redid on Allison,
Those are just a year old.
are they just been a year
Yes,
or
sir.
two maybe?
Yeah.
So did y'all do Allison when you did that? Did y'all resurface Allison?
Yes, we did.
What happened to it?
This section down here on the bottom, this part,
That's the
not that part.
crossover. I'm
This
talking
part-
about when you turn off 32nd Street.
Some of it wasn't draining off on this end right here, so it was, this corner right here, Woodlawn and Allison, that's the worst section right there. It held water there the whole time because we couldn't get it to drain off the other end, down Woodlawn.
Allison's been all the way down, from 32nd all the way. For only being a couple years old. I don't, that's my question about,
What was the reason for
why did we
the
do it?
drainage?
I mean, what did we do to that?
Well, the drainage, we couldn't get the drainage off of it going down Bay and Woodlawn. Both of those areas drained
Right.
towards Twin City, so it held water the whole time.
After y'all put the new chip seal on?
Well, yeah, the curves themselves leaving Allison. And the road itself has got a good base on it now. And we are planning on coming back and putting asphalt on top of that too. So,
Okay, so, but my question is, when y'all did the curves, the street was tore up, we resurfaced that street at that time, we seal coated it, is that correct? And that was just 2 years ago. And it's from 32nd Street to where the new curves are in the back. That's all, has to be redone again this year.
Well, we were planning on doing that one this year, but
Because you know what I'm talking about? But this is just, it's got holes in it everywhere.
well,
From 32nd to where it lies at the other end into,
well, it's not near as bad as these other ones that we have over here. I mean, we did that one 2 years ago, and we picked the worst streets to do this year.
I understand. I'm just trying to figure out what happened. We did that street 2 years ago. Why did it fall apart? Is what I'm asking.
The only thing I could think of is that it was open for so long. Whenever they did the street, the contractors did it, they spread it too wide. They left it open. It stayed saturated for months. And then whenever we go to put it back,
The base really wasn't good to put
well,
a top on.
the base was there. There was more dug out than was supposed to be. The contractor that we hired, he dug a lot more out than he should have. But I mean, I can't blame that on the surface that we put on there. I didn't see that the surface was as bad as what I'm getting the message right now.
Maybe I might be looking at something different.
Was this it wasn't a total reconstruct though, it was just a
No, it was a total reconstruction.
total reconstruct?
Well, I went on Allison and Bay. Actually, I walked down the street, got out of my truck and walked. And it's got those places like this on there. But the curbs look great.
Yeah, the
They look
curbs-
really good.
The new
That's-
curves are great. They're
Yeah,
fantastic.
they're perfect. They're good size and everything, but the street itself is pretty bad.
Yeah, well, I know that the intention for doing that street, we were getting the first coat on it, then we were coming back with asphalt with it in a few years when we got the whole subdivision done. If that's any consolation to it, but we're,
Well, and that's like spending good money over bad money in my book, but that's just me.
You said there was drainage problem
there was drainage problems with it.
that contributed a lot to this? Has
And
that
that's what
been-
the curves have been done to get the water
That's
off of it
been
now.
fixed.
Yes. The curves that have been done on Bay and Woodlawn have helped get that off of there. Yes, I understand coming towards 32nd Street, some of those, they're not even draining. I mean, you can see some of them, they're supposed to be draining. It's a flat area too. The drainage itself on that was just, there's hardly any.
So the drainage problem, you think is fixed or?
It should be, yes.
Okay.
So,
Before you move on, I guess if you want to show us another tree.
well, it was, Bay and Woodlawn was the next streets that are on here. But you go ahead. You got a question?
I was going to ask on the total reconstruction, these prices are for us to do all of the work, is that correct?
Yes.
We had discussed previously about us mixing it up, getting it ready, and then having someone bring in their machines and finish, other than the county. Were those prices ever gotten on what it would cost? Because yeah, our maybe $1 square foot, and a full job would be $8, but what does it cost for us to do the prep work and then them to lay the street? Did we get that?
We never did get the price on them laying the streets because the agreement that we had was that they were just going to come put the primer on, or the prime on top of the primer. That was it. All they were going to do, we were going to recycle the road, lay it out, and then they were going to come seal coat it for, or seal it for us, and then we were going to come back and put the chip seal on it with the county. Because we weren't going to hire somebody to come blade it with our own equipment and everything, unless they brought their equipment in. That's basically reconstructing the whole street.
You know, we've talked about us getting the road ready, doing all the base work and everything, grading it down, and having it ready to be seal coated, and somebody coming in and laying the top on top of the new constructed road.
Don't we have that in the bid packet coming up next week in the GLO streets? Don't we
That's
have?
chip seal. Is that
Yeah.
right, Jeremy? Oh, that's not with him, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I believe we have that in
And
our part of our
the
bid.
GLO,
Yeah.
okay.
Because we have some city streets that we asked them to look at.
Yeah.
And that GLO packet that's different than the GLO streets.
My other question about this is, with all the streets, I know we're not gonna be doing Monroe because that's gonna be a asphalt street, but all these other ones, we're gonna be able to get these done with the manpower that we have?
We'll do the best we can, yes, sir.
Well, that's,
How many men do you have to take care of that?
Yeah.
We got 6 right now.
is that adequate for those
We'll
jobs?
have to borrow some people from the other departments, dump trucks, things like that. But whenever we have the county come in and lay out the chip seal, they bring probably 6 to 8 people themselves to take care of all that.
What about the construction of the street? That's what I'm concerned about. Is we have enough operators to operate the equipment?
Yeah, all we have is one maintainer, we have one pneumatic roller, we have one steel wheel roller. We got enough to operate all that, and we use flaggers. And we have a BOMAG, which that's the recycler. That's Joey runs that. So yeah, we have enough to run the equipment we have. Yes.
So we shouldn't have any trouble other than weather. We shouldn't have any trouble doing all these streets this year.
We shouldn't.
Is there a projected start date on any of these?
As soon as we can. We're finishing up. We did start the project over there for the soccer fields this week. We're finishing that up. We're going to do it on spring break, get it done, and then we can start right after that. I can give you a better date later. once we finish
What
it.
is my other last question about the street? What is, if I'm not mistaken, I know it has to be a certain temperature to be able to put the oil and rock down. And so that should arrive in somewhere in late May, June. Is that correct? So
The street should be around 75 degrees, if I'm not
Right, so the
mistaken.
preparation could start as
Yeah.
early as
Is
late
next
April
week,
and May?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we are planning on starting this very soon. Yes.
After you do Monroe, is there a time frame that we leave it blocked off for traffic not to go up and
No.
down it until it's sealed?
On the asphalt, you can drive on it right afterwards.
Right after.
And that was done by contractors, not by us.
Yeah, right.
We did Monroe from Twin City to Maine, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And do you know how many months ago that's been? I know
Well, we finished it in May.
Yeah, it was last year.
10 months.
okay. And there's areas that's as bad as it was before you started.
That's not near as bad as it was before I started. There's some ripples in the road, yeah.
I'm not trying to argue with you. What I'm stating is that there are areas that are very questionable. What, do you know what caused that?
When we were building the street, the rain got us. And yeah, we were gonna try to smooth it out. We did go, we maintained the road each time that it did cause the ripples. But those hurricanes were coming and we had to get that, we had to get it seal coated before we were gonna lose the road. It was a lot of money for us to lose. So we went ahead and topped that road and saved what we had.
So there's a window there, once you get it to a state that you got to
Yes, sir.
get it, okay.
To put your mind at ease, Councilman, we've had an expert come look at that, and the asphalt will correct all of the ripples, because this base is perfect. The chip seal is good. It's a very solid, strong street, and once it's asphalted, you'll never even know that you had those ripples and those little small holes in there. It'll all be sealed and leveled up, and then there'll be a coat put on it, and it'll be like it's supposed to be.
So there's another,
2 inches of asphalt that goes on top of that. That's what's going to be done this summer. And that will take care and smooth out all those small ripples and potholes and stuff. They're not even potholes, they're just ripples, because the base is solid. I think they did a great job, and the fact that the base is held up, and there are no potholes in that street.
no, there's nothing.
There are some rough spots, but there are no potholes.
And I'm questioning that
Yeah.
because we're fixing to go into doing some more streets.
Yeah.
Whatever the problems were there, can we,
I think we
overcome
can
that
avoid them. Yeah, I think we can avoid them.
I brought Doug Mayor out there to Crescent Drive one time. If you guys want to go look at one that we did that we didn't get caught in the rain, you can go look at that one and you'll see it's quite a bit better than what you see over there on Monroe. We didn't get caught. We were able to get everything in the right amount of time and it turned out really good.
Good.
So
On our drive around, I was fortunate enough to see the ones that went right. We saw some of the ones that went wrong. They're, you pray for a great job every time,
Sure.
and sometimes circumstances get you. The cost savings has to be enough, if you want to call it a gamble, I guess, if you will, to gamble to save the money, to do more You know, because if we took this same budget and went back, we'd have to pick one street probably a year
You know, 1 to 2
to
streets,
do
yeah.
Sure.
a full-blown reconstruct asphalt.
All right.
With using
Full-blown
contractors.
Yeah, with all contractors. So,
So circumstances is what created having
Yeah, definitely.
to do that. Okay.
Plus a lot of circumstances. I mean, it just, depending on rain and different weather things,
Well-
that is what,
The other thing too is Monroe is, you know how heavily traveled that
Oh, yeah.
road is. So anytime you get water on it, it would start potting up again. So you go down the Crescent, that's a dead end street. You know, only the people that live on it go down there. So they didn't mess the road up either. So even if we did get some rain, it didn't get near as much traffic. So, I mean, there's all kinds of circumstances.
I understand. Okay.
Troy, how many roads can y'all work at a time?
We do one at a
I know
time.
seal coating and all that is different. I'm talking about the rebuild. You work 1 or 2 streets at a time.
We'll work one. If you got 2 of them that are really close, we can do 2 at a time. But we're gonna recycle the one, lay it out, pack it, do all the
So like-
compaction and all that.
Like High and Clinton, those are total rebuilds. They're right across, they almost cross street from one another.
Yeah, those could be done together, yes, sir.
I was just
And
curious.
then you got Bay and Woodlawn that are right next to each other also.
Right.
We can do those too.
you mentioned the soccer fields. The work that they asked us to do, the Gulf Coast soccer, is that what you're doing now?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's
When did y'all start it?
today. We started today.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're almost done with it, actually. They laid it out. There's just some fine blading to do. Possibly Wednesday will be done.
Okay.
It was their material. All we're using is our
Yeah.
vehicles and laying it out, you know. So getting some training at the same time.
Are you working on the practice fields too at the same time, or what?
The football field's next.
Yeah.
We put that off. I've actually personally myself been out there digging the ditches on that to keep the street guys off of that. I'll go when I have some spare time and dig some of that, just to make sure that they're doing their part of it.
Yeah.
That actually should be done this week also, and then the contractor takes over from there.
Okay.
So we're wrapping all those projects up.
How many days have we spent on that?
On the football fields,
Yeah.
I think we've probably spent a total of altogether maybe 2.5, 3 weeks.
Okay.